right. All right, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to our bi-weekly Wednesday live show. We weren't sure if we were going to make it this week or if we were going to have to delay it a week, but everything worked out. Bo's sitting pretty with 60-degree weather, and I'm sitting with single-digit weather and blowing snow and 30 mile an hour to 50 mile an hour winds. So hope everybody's staying warm, staying inside, making some money.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Bo?
I'm doing well. I'm prepping for the Dallas card show. I'm getting a Zion case with all the stuff that I want to take with me to trade night, and then I'm bagging it each slab and putting a price on it and trying to have everything ready to rock. I haven't tried the trade night at the Dallas card show yet, but I've had luck at the ones that I have tried. So, and it's for a big show, it's the closest one to me. It's maybe about a 4-hour drive to Allen, Texas. Allen's way north of Dallas, so I don't even have to go through the city traffic or anything, which is pretty nice. Yeah, and I've got a bunch of PSA 9 Paige Beckers draft night cards that I'm hoping people in Dallas will want, because I've got a big stack of them. But graded way too many of those damn things.
I would guess should be hot item down there, I would think.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a live review, I guess is what we're going to call it. Bo got his 20 card order in the mail, and we are going to rip that open live. Hey, Mark, welcome in.
One thing that's nice about the new, when you buy from Topps, is typically the receipt sheet will tell you right off the bat if you got a hit or not. So you technically don't even have to open up the case. But I bought the 20. Let's see. Ooh, I did get a hit. See, so it's on the receipt. It'll show you if you've got. It says lucky hit, right there.
Nice.
So let's see.
Let's see what we got.
See what we got.
A Mendoza hit. That's big.
Yeah. It's a gold one. So I got one gold one. It's on the top, which is kind of a problem.
So are those numbered to 50 then, or?
Yeah. I have about a 95% gem rate on getting these Topps Now cards graded through PSA. I take them to GameStop for these. Like these will go to GameStop today or before I leave town, and then I've been typically one of the first or the first to the market because my GameStop sends them off every Monday. Like I just got back my that hockey guy that I bought a 20 pack of that Canadian that's playing for Penn State that they say is going to be the #1 draft in the NHL. I got those back already, and none of my auctions have ended yet, but it looked like I was first person to have them on the market. But when they put the hit card on the top, I've got a 95% gem rate with Topps Now cards on all the parallels, the hits. I've got about a 40% gem rate because it's always the card on the top, and the centering always looks a little bit different from everything else, and sometimes there's a scratch or something on it. So I'll look over it real carefully, and if it doesn't look like it could get a 10, I'll just go ahead and list it raw.
It looked like they sent it in a top loader.
No, it's the 20 cards in the.
Oh, okay. You held it up. I thought it looked like it was in a top loader. So
yeah, I'll get them all ready to rock later today and go and take them to GameStop.
Has GameStop? Have you noticed GameStop slow down for you? I know there's a guy that does the local GameStop here, and he said they were running 6 to 7 weeks, and his last 2 orders now have been 12 to 14 weeks through GameStop.
My last order was 9 weeks.
Okay.
And I've
was
got
that one prior to the changes,
the
or was
one?
Okay, so that was prior to.
Yeah.
So have you sent anything in recently that would indicate that it was longer?
Well, I mean, the hockey cards, I think I submitted those on 28th of October. Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, no, no.
that was still when GameStop was humming. I've
Yeah.
heard that anything submitted in December or mid-November hasn't come back yet, and they've been slowing down to that 12-week mark. But
I've also seen that they are shutting down 300 stores.
yeah,
The one by me is at a shopping mall, and they're always busy as can be. I kind of doubt in Northwest Arkansas has a lot of money where I'm at. It's Walmart headquarters with all these people up here, but I don't think it's going to shut down. But there's been 4 or 5 in Arkansas that have closed completely.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't noticed anything slowing down. It seems to me it slowed down a little bit from when it was coming in real quick. But I still, for the cheaper cards now, I don't really like giving them like Bowman First autos and rookie ticket autos and things like that. Those I'll just send in directly myself. But for the cheaper stuff, I like just get especially this because I want to get it back before. I'd like to have it back before the NFL draft. Which that ought to be possible. You would think. We'll see.
yeah. So I had a guy yesterday that wanted to trade me a Pokemon card as part of it towards one of my cards, and he was local. And I said, well, if you drive down to my workplace, I'll take a look at it and we'll make a deal maybe. And I had message. I see Logan's in here. Welcome in, Logan. Swizzle stick. Anyways, Logan's my Pokemon guy, and I said, hey, this Flareon, is this any good? And he's like, well, it could be. It's not a hollow, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have it. I basically had profit plus the card, so I thought, why not? And since I didn't want to send in a mixed bulk order with a Pokemon card mixed with others because that slows it down, I ran it over last night. After I got it, I ran it over and saw the guy at GameStop, and I said, I've never done this before. I'm gonna throw this in your next GameStop order. And he said, okay. So
Nice.
we'll see how that comes back. I didn't feel like paying extra money to get it done quicker, and I didn't feel like putting it in a.
Right.
I had just sent in a bulk Pokemon order a couple weeks ago, so I didn't have enough Pokemon to do another bulk order. So we'll see. I'll have firsthand knowledge on how quickly GameStop is because he said they send them in on Friday mornings. So
Okay. Mine's Monday mornings. Nice. Do you have much? Have you ever had problems with the international shipping through eBay?
no.
Yeah, I shipped a international shipping a Shador Sanders Panini instant card and then the buyer sent me a message this morning, said that he didn't receive the card that he ordered, and I was like, well, what did you receive? And he said, I received a Pokemon guidebook. And I've never even owned a Pokemon guidebook. So I'm wondering if either he's lying or if when they do all that international shipping, if it gets repackaged and maybe somebody put the wrong thing in the wrong thing. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. But Logan just said if I'm your Pokemon guy, we're in trouble. So that makes me feel real good.
Yeah. I've given up on Pokemon completely.
Well, Logan was dabbling in it, so and then of course Xavier likes it. So my toe is dipped in the water, but I haven't plunged in yet. But no, as far as the international shipping goes, I just shipped out just before Christmas. I sold a Messi to a guy in Ireland, and he just gave me a 5-star on eBay stating that everything went well, and he just got it yesterday. And so it took about 17 days, 18 days for him to get the card.
Mm-hmm.
And the shipping was kind of outrageous, but he was okay with it. So no, I've never had any problems. I ship probably 2 or 3 cards a month out of the country where
Yeah.
people are buying them off my eBay store because I have
Mhm.
international shipping on everything. And
Mhm.
I've, knock on wood, I've never had a problem with it.
Yeah, I do it too, and this is the first time, and I'm just wondering if the packages just got mixed up, but I don't know. We'll see. He'll probably file a claim with eBay, and we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, Mark is saying his kid's got Pokemon and he wants to grade. Figures 8 is break even, but lose money if they're lower. He heard that they're a hard grade with the blue backs. He's thinking most will be 6s.
oh wow,
Um, the Mark, the guy I talked to that I've kind of befriended over at GameStop, he claims that Pokemon are way easier to gem than a sports card. I don't know if I believe him, but he said the gem rates on Pokemon cards, the modern Pokemon cards, are like extremely high, like 70 to 80% gem
oh
rates.
wow,
But the older ones, the more that they get handled and stuff, the more that the blue edges start to flake, and then
Mhm.
they do get lower grades. But if they're ultra modern, like fresh out of the pack, he claims that it's like Tops Now cards where they just almost all get gems. So
That didn't work like that for me. I submitted like 15 and got all 9s and 8s.
Mark is saying his are all 20 years old. Yeah,
Uh,
if they're 20 years old, Mark, you're probably right. You're probably going to end up with 6s. So then,
yeah,
unless you can break even or make money on a 6, tell your kid maybe slab them with CGC because it's only what $14 a card, and CGC Pokemon they actually sell fairly well, and it's way cheaper and way quicker than PSA right now.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Logan's chiming in. He's not making me feel any better. He said the card I showed him was a hollow and the gem rate is super low. Thanks, Logan. Well, I have no money in it, so whatever it costs me to grade it, it is. That'll be what I own the card for. So it'll be through GameStop, it'll be what $22 or whatever it is. So
Yeah,
I'm not going to have a lot of money in it. From what I can see, or what Logan was telling me, if I get a 7 or an 8, I'll be fine. So we'll see.
I think the easiest way to profit with Pokemon, and I have done this, is if you get their boxes from the Pokemon Center website, because those are bigger boxes with more cards in it, and there's a demand for those. Like I bought one for $80 this summer and sold it for $350 before Christmas.
Yeah,
But they're hard to get.
I've flipped sealed Pokemon and made money on that. I
Mhm,
just haven't dabbled in the singles yet.
right.
But yeah, if you buy basically anything Pokemon off the Pokemon website, it's almost instantly a
Yeah.
flip that you can make.
Because
Um,
you'll log in at like 9 a.m. whenever the word gets out, and you might not buy it till 11. But it'll all be sold out. It takes like half your day basically
yeah.
to get the Pokemon boxes. Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? You said that you wanted to share some other stuff today, right? What do
Yeah,
you?
I thought I would share some photos. I've never
Yeah.
shared any of my photography, but I've been covering the Lady Razorbacks home games now that they're in the SEC. And it's been fun. I get in there for free and I'm taking shots. I'm sitting on the floor and I'm so old that my leg is completely asleep by the time the game's over and I have to like limp out of the building. But I actually bought 2 8x10s of each of these and I'm going to mail them. Like, for example, let me go ahead and share the first one. Uh, is that not popping up?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, there we go. So, here's Michaela Blake's. She's one of the best players in the nation. So the first game I covered was the Vanderbilt game. And I thought, why not try? So I'm sending 2 copies of this 8x10 to Vanderbilt to her with return postage and see if she'll sign one and send it back to me. And then I'm going to put all this stuff on my wall. I've got a few soccer shots that from the fall that I already did that with, but So there's the Michaela Blakes. Let's see. We got Joyce Edwards. She's probably the best player on South Carolina. Tania Lotson was hurt and did not play in the game that I was at. I think she's got a messed up knee or ankle or something. She's supposed to be a first-round pick, but I think Edwards, Edwards had her Bowman first auto last year. She's one of the best players on that team, but South Carolina has like 9 All-Americans on one team. It's just crazy. And then let's see, we've got Raven Johnson, which I believe is a first-round pick this year. She does the Michael Jordan thing, I noticed. She's got her tongue out in dang near every shot that I took. She's got her tongue out. And I was like, I guess that's her thing. I didn't really notice it till I was looking at the photos real close. And then the other Johnson girl, I don't think she has the McDonald's All-American cards, but I don't think that she's been in anything besides that. And then I was sitting right next to her, and I enjoyed getting to see her harass the refs, but the coach, Dawn Staley, I'm gonna send one to her too. But have you heard the story about this necklace? It's kind of interesting. Her biggest fan is this little girl with leukemia that made this necklace for her, and she wears it at every game now. And it's kind of an interesting, neat story. But she, I don't know, she might be the greatest women's basketball coach, definitely since Pat Summitt, but she knows how to win games, right? So
yeah.
But I think that I don't cover another game for another. They're on the road, but I think Missouri or Kentucky is next. But we'll see. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Mark was saying that Michaela Blakes looks good this year, but her cards aren't moving for him yet. I would anticipate that they probably won't get hot until March, late February, early March.
They're still undefeated. I mean, I don't think they're gonna go undefeated the whole year, but they're I think they're the only SEC team that still hasn't lost.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you wanted to show before I give these guys a few plays?
I think that's it, man.
All right. Well, so this week, I was thinking to myself, what can I do to be a little bit unique and different? We can do these plays week after week, month after month, and tell you to go slab up Victor Wembanyama and SGA and Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, all the usuals. You don't need to watch a podcast to help you make money on the right? So I thought I would try and dig a little deeper for everybody this week. And I found cards. There's a couple of rookie cards in here. There's 2 hockey young gun cards in here. Tried to find something that's a little bit different. Even some of the players, there is a Victor Wembanyama card in here, but it's not your stereotypical silver or hollow or something. It's something a little bit unique. So I've got 11 plays today. Some familiar names, but some cards that maybe you wouldn't have normally looked at from a raw to grade standpoint. Just trying to offer a little bit of extra value to our listeners here, and for them to be able to go where people ain't, maybe have a little less competition if they're not fighting for the latest and greatest rookie cards of all the latest releases. So you'll see as we go here kind of the pattern that I've developed. But first one up here we're going to go with is the only Vic, and all 11 plays are of different players. I didn't do, in the past I've done multiple plays from the same player, different cards. I tried to be unique today. So today is 11 different players, 11 different cards. And none of them are the mainstream that you would expect. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more fun looking and a little better chance of finding some of these cards. So anyway, so the first up here is Victor Wembanyama. This is his mosaic. So I didn't go Prism, and I didn't go with a standard card. I went with the NBA debut because those typically don't. They're a little bit easier to come by. So if you look in the last 365 days, these cards have been out for over a year. The most recent sale was $18.50. The 1 year average is almost $31. So the average has come down. If you see at the beginning of the season, you had that big spike when he just started off the season ungodly. And all of his cards just went crazy. Then he got injured and a lot of his cards fell, and you can see the spike that's way up at the top. It was a $60 card when he got injured, and by the time he came back, it had dropped from a $60 card to a $12 card, and now it's back up. The most recent is $18, and it's climbing again. But a PSA 9 still sells for $100. So if you can find this card,
is that the base?
This is the red mosaic.
Okay.
This is the NBA debut red mosaic, card number 257. A PSA 9 sells for $100. So even if you had to pay $30 or $40 for a nice copy, you're still making money on a PSA 9, which is why I put this card in here. Mosaic is a little bit easier to come by. However, this particular card, as you can see, there have only been 22 sales raw of this card in the last year. So it's only selling about twice a month. But I got to think that there's more of these out there because Mosaic is a product that a lot of people rip and they don't generally collect it. So it should be easier in theory to come by and buy. And when you have a PSA 9 selling for $100, it makes it to where you can spend a little bit more. If you find one in the wild and it looks nice, even though the most recent sale was $18 and the 1 year average is $30, if you see a card and you're like, you know what, this guy he's on crack, he wants $40 for this card, but the card looks good, you can pay the $40 because then with shipping, you're still at, $65 with grading fees. Or if you wanted, in this particular instant, because you wanted it back quicker, if you can buy this card for $25 or $30, it gives you the option of spending maybe $50 or $60 and getting it back much quicker than a bulk submission, and you're still going to break even or make a little bit of money. So the types of plays I'm doing today, that's what I'm looking at. So PSA 9 is $100. Here's the really fun thing, okay? A PSA 10 of this card has not sold. The PSA 10 of this card has not sold since October 3rd. So the last sale of the PSA 10 was $113 because that was right at the beginning when he was starting to go nuts and his prices. It was $113. Well, now the PSA 9 is up to $100. So the next PSA 10 that sells, I'm guessing, is going to be $225, $250, and you're investing 30, 40, 20, on a base card. It just makes it a fun play that you can afford to send in a slow snail mail if you want, because you're going to get it back hopefully around playoff time, which should be perfect time for Wemby to hopefully again ascend and continue to spike. Or you can send it in faster because he's still hot, and get it back, and you've got the margin to make some money. So it's a multifaceted play. It allows you to go in either direction, and it's a card that not a lot of people are out there looking for. So therefore, it gives you the option of making some money on something that you don't have to try and beat 200 other people on eBay for. All right, next up, I know football is coming to a conclusion, and that's when I like to buy football for people that are eliminated. Dallas is eliminated. CeeDee Lamb is eliminated. So this particular card is his Optic rated rookie Purple Shock card number 156. The most recent sale was $11. The 30-day average is essentially $10. There have been 4 sales in the last 30 days, so about 1 per week. This card here has a PSA 9 of $60. So it's a card, again, at around $10. With grading fees, you're going to have $35 in it. You're going to get this card back in the bulk shipping. You're going to get this card back probably in May or June. And that's perfect timing because the end of July is when these cards are going to start to heat up again. So it should be perfect timing. Not a lot of money to invest. And it's got a 36% gem rate. I'm sorry, a 46% gem rate. The Victor Wembanyama that we just talked about was a 28% gem rate. I failed to mention that. But this CeeDee Lamb is a 46% gem rate on a card that you can afford to buy now and take your time in a bulk order and get it to come back. So a PSA 10 currently sells for $80. It did peak in the 120s earlier in the season. I anticipate that card will sell for $75 to $100 come the start of the season next year. So again, you're going to get that card back right at perfect timing for bulk. So I was trying to find a bulk play that you could get. You can go buy 2, 3, 4, 5 of these if you want at $10 a piece. Put them in the bulk, and you're going to get them back. Instead of being frustrated by PSA is going to help you out. You're going to get them back with about a month to spare before when you want them to peak. So that is another play for you guys to go out and make. All right. Here's a fun one. Everybody loves to go get Tom Brady cards. You don't have to go get a Tom Brady rookie card to make money. So I picked out a 2020 Optic Hollow Tom Brady card number 92. As you can see in the chart, the 30-day chart, $9 is the most recent sale. The 30-day average is $7. So you're talking about a $7 to $10 Tom Brady Hollow towards the end of his career. 4 sales in the last 30 days. So again, about 1 per week. But here's another card that, because it's Tom Brady, because of the time of the year, here's another card that's perfect for timing PSA's backlog right now. A PSA 9 currently sold for $48. So you're busting even on a PSA 9, which is perfect. But a PSA 10 is $152. So if you can get a hollow PSA 10 Tom Brady, you're going to have $30 to $40 with shipping tied up in the card. And it's got a 44% gem rate. So almost 1 out of 2. Try and buy 3, 4, 5 of these cards. Spend $40 or $50. Make a multi-card play. If you get 110, it pays for 3 cards, and still having a profit, or it'll pay break even on 5 cards. One PSA 10 breaks you even with grading on 5 cards. So do a 5-card play with a 44% gem rate. Chances are you're going to get hopefully 2 out of 5, maybe 3 out of 5. And all it takes is 1 out of 5 to break even. So it's a very low risk play on a desirable hollow Tom Brady. So again, you can kind of see my thought process this week with going where they ain't going with. I think in the title I put cards you didn't expect to grade. I don't think any listeners were out there thinking this morning, I'm going to go find a 2020 Tom Brady hollow card to grade. But that's where there's money, guys. There's money. You don't have to go chase all of these latest and greatest rookie cards to make money. There's money to be made on these other cards. And that's why you follow this show, so we can help you with stuff like that. Next up, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, I know he's hot right now, so it kind of goes against the grain, right? We tell you don't buy a card of a player when he's hot. But look at the price. Can we just throw that out the window, Bo? Can we just throw out the fact that he's hot out the window? Because the most recent sale was $8.50. The most recent sale before that was $20. The 30-day average is $25. Does it really matter if he's hot or not? If you can get a green velocity, which is kind of a color match, a greenish, aqua-ish, Trevor Lawrence rookie card for $25 or less, does it matter if it's May or if it's February or if it's October or March? I don't think it does. That's the beauty of these plays, is it doesn't matter that he's hot right now. If you can get this card in that 10 to 15 to 20, even $25 range, there's plenty of upside here. So a PSA 9 is $48. So if you want to go into this, back yourself into this, knowing that you want to at least break even, that will allow you to spend $23 to $24 on a raw card and still break even on a PSA 9. And then a PSA 10 is $140. It's a 30% gem rate. But I don't think the Jaguars are going to win the Super Bowl, okay?
They're out, aren't they? Didn't Buffalo beat them?
I don't think they're gonna win anything. Yeah, did Buffalo? Yeah, that's right. No, did they?
I think so.
So they're out of it already.
I think so.
And that's okay, because with the year that they had, people are going to start in the offseason looking at Trevor Lawrence cards again, because all of a sudden the Jags are relevant, right? They had a great defense. Their offense was much improved. Brian Thomas was really a non-factor this year. Travis Hunter got injured, was a non-factor this year. And yet the Jags made it as far as they did with the record that they did. They won their division. Everybody's talking about Trevor Lawrence saved his career. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a hot card in the offseason, I'm telling you. Yeah. So if you can go get yourself kind of a color match for $25 or less, break even on a 9, and triple your money on a PSA 10, that is why I put that play in here. It's just easy money.
I'm a huge fan of their kicker. He hits like 68-yard field goals.
Yeah, was his name Little?
Cam Little, yeah. He's an Arkansas guy.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Paul Skeens 2024 Topps Chrome Cosmic, card number 30. This is the base refractor. I say base refractor because there's a whole bunch of refractors in Topps Chrome Cosmic. $12.50. 30-day average is $16.60, so $12 to $15 to $20 for this card. It's a nice rookie card of Paul Skeens. It's a refractor. Paul Skeens continues to stay hot. It doesn't really seem to matter what time of year it is. I know you're not going to get it back for the beginning of the season. As long as he doesn't get hurt, he's going to compete for Cy Young after Cy Young. He may even get traded, Lord knows. But the timing is okay because of the dollar amount. So if you can spend $10 to $20 on this card, a PSA 9 is $72. So you're making a $25 to $30 profit on a PSA 9. That's a pretty good low floor to get into a refractor rookie Paul Skeens. A PSA 10 is 205. So quite a nice return on your investment if you get a 10. And it's a 35% gem rate. So, so you're talking about a refractor Paul Skeens, $20. Again, buy 4 or 5 of these guys. You don't just need to buy one, buy a bunch of them. I mean, with a 30% gem rate, with that low of a floor and that high of a ceiling, play the odds. Buy 2 or 3 of them. Buy whatever. But that's a refractor rookie Paul Skeens. It's a nice way to dip your toe in the Paul Skeens market with little to no risk when you're making $20 on a PSA 9. If you're wondering, you lose about $5 on a PSA 8. They're just there's almost no risk involved in that play. The only risk is if he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Next up, we have J.J. McCarthy. I don't care if you believe in J.J. McCarthy. I don't care if you think he stinks, or anywhere in between, okay? He showed enough in between the injuries this year. He showed enough to me, and I think to most of the general population, that he's going to be a quarterback that people are going to be saying it's a buy low opportunity because his cards really took a hit at the end of the year. A lot because of injuries and the fact they didn't make the playoffs. This is a purple scope. You guys know, if you watch me, I'm a sucker for color match. A purple scope Minnesota Vikings rookie quarterback card on a buy low opportunity. $8.17 is the most recent sale. 30-day average is $10.70. It got up as high as $16. It got as low as $4.50, $5. So what you're going to be looking for is to spend $5 to $15, buy a nice purple scope, J.J. McCarthy. And again, the timing on football right now is perfect because of how long it's taking. PSA, you're going to get this back most likely the end of May, early June, which is perfect timing because you want it back for the end of July. J.J. McCarthy's PSA 9 sells for $50. So even if you got to spend $15, $16, $17 on a good one, you're breaking even on a PSA 9. A PSA 10 sells for $90. So the upside isn't there as much as some of these other cards we've talked about. But it's still, a nice double your money opportunity with a very, very low floor when you're talking about, a $10 card. And if he starts the preseason hot, there's way more upside than there is downside because he's going to be the starter going into next year. There's no question about it. He just has to get healthy. And he didn't have any major injuries. He had little piddly injuries. At the end of the year, he maybe fractured, his hand hitting a helmet following through. That's bad luck is what that is. So I wouldn't consider him injury prone yet. And I think he's got another year to prove himself. So I like the purple scope, J.J. McCarthy. All right. rinse and repeat everything that I've already said about Trevor Lawrence. Don't buy a card when he's going up. Don't buy a card when he's hot. Don't buy blah, 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 blah. Throw all these, quit listening to people that tell you that stuff. Look for the opportunities to where you can make some money. I'm telling you, you're going to make money on Drake May. If Drake May flames out in just spectacular fashion, Drake May is still going to be a hot commodity going into next year because of what he accomplished this year. He doesn't have to win the Super Bowl. He doesn't even have to make the AFC Championship game. If he flames out in his next game, people are still going to buy his cards in the offseason because of what he accomplished this year. The sky's the limit for the future. He had the single biggest jump of any of the cards. Could his cards dip a little bit? Sure they could, but we don't care because PSA is taking freaking 6 months to get your cards back. You're buying the card now, and when the card comes back, it's going to be hot again. So forget about the dip that's going to take place. We're talking about timing. And it doesn't get any cheaper or any more basic than this card. This is his Don Russ paper rated rookie. Okay. This card, if he would have stunk this year, we'd be talking about a $1 card. But he didn't. He played very, very well. I think you're going to see them get even some more weapons. I think you could see them get a big name wide receiver in the offseason, whether it's through the draft or free agency, and then watch Drake May's market go. But anyways, $7.31 is the current price. As you can see the chart, it's up and to the right, but it's not really, guys. Look, the low point was $4. The high point is $7.31. The $7.31 is the highest point in the last 30 days. So you're buying this card at the highest point it's been at in a long time. Do I need my head examined for telling you to buy this card? No, I don't, because nobody cares if it's $4 or $7. I'm pretty sure every one of the listeners of this channel can afford $3. Okay. Consider it, since we don't charge anything we don't have a special limited edition. You don't have to join our club and pay a fee to do. You can afford $3. All right. $7 card, 30-day average is $6. And the PSA 9 is $45. All right. Worst case scenario, the PSA 9 drops to $30 because he flames out in grand fashion. So you spend $8 on a card because this card's going to go up a little bit more this week. So you spend $8, you get it graded, you got $30 with shipping invested in the card, and the card drops all the way down. PSA 9 drops down to $30. You're out your eBay fees. Very low floor for the upside of the card. The PSA 10 is $115. Now, what happens if Drake May and New England win and get to the Super Bowl? What happens if Drake May and New England wins the Super Bowl? Do you think this card is going to come down between now and August? I don't think so. This card's going to go nuts, and the people are going to talk about another dynasty in New England because people remember a certain quarterback in New England that had a dynasty. I know a couple of New England fans that are already talking that Drake May is the next Tom Brady. They've been so fortunate to win so many times. Drake May fans are going to drive this card up all off season. I am not concerned about buying this card during the peak. This card at $115 right now could go higher if he continues to win. And I could see this card dropping down to it could be a $70 card by April. I don't care what it sells for in April. I care what it sells for in July. And the card's going to sell for $100 plus in July again, regardless of how he does in the rest of the playoffs, because he's going to be a hot ticket in the offseason, especially if they pick up a wide receiver. The card has a 44% gem rate too. So here again, this is a pretty easy card to come by. Guys, in the last 30 days, there have been 1,200 sales.
Wow.
1,200 of these cards have sold in the last 30 days. 1,200, Bo.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's a head scratcher how many of these. I mean, it's a Donruss paper, nothing nobody cares about card, except for the fact that you can triple your money on a PSA 10 with a 44% gem rate. What I mean, that's why it's on the list today, guys. That's why it's on the list.
I'm gonna go buy 10 of them tonight.
You know what? I bought, so last night I went in and I went on to eBay and I looked for a lot, and there was a guy that was selling 50 of them for $150, $3 a piece, and I took my chances. So I got 50 of them coming.
Wow.
I have no idea how many of them will be gradable. I don't care. I just need a few of them to be gradable. I get if I get two PSA 10s, it pays for grading and all the other 48 cards. It's a no lose. There's got to be 2 gems out of 50. There just have to be. But that card is so easy to come by. You can go buy. When I searched it on eBay, there were several of them that had lots of 3, lots of 5, lots of 10. It's there's 1,200 sales in 30 days. That card sells very, very well. And Mark is saying if they win this week, you could easily sell any of the cards that you deem ungradable and probably make a profit raw. So that's another good point, Mark. All right. Before we get to the Young Guns card that I can't pronounce, we're going to do the one that I can. 2025 Upper Deck Young Guns, Ryan Leonard, card number 238. Last sale $14.93, so $15. There have been 184 of these sales. The 25 Upper Deck Series 1 came out. When did it come out? End of November, something like that. So it's only been on the market for a couple months. Again, people will tell you that you shouldn't buy them because you can't make money, blah, blah, blah. You buy the right card, you can make money, and I don't care how recent the release is. I've made lots of money buying cards that were released in the first 30 or 60 days. You don't have to wait a year to buy the card. We all know who we're talking about there. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Their last rookie card is out before you can buy it.
Yeah. Go spend a couple $100 a year and watch that channel and lose money. That's fine. 2025 Upper Deck Young Guns 238 Ryan Leonard, $15 last sale. 30-day average is $16. 184 is the number of sales in the last 30 days. So 6 cards a day roughly is what this card is selling. The PSA 9 is $115. Now, I caution you, that is the first and only graded card of this player to hit the market so far. So the $115 for the PSA 9 will probably come crashing down to about $50 after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them hit the market. So do not think that you're going to go out and triple your money on a PSA 9. That's the trap that you can fall into by buying a card too soon on a recent release. Okay. First card to hit the market's always way high. There have been 0 PSA 10s that have hit the market. So that first 10 is probably going to sell for $200, $300, $400. And then that's going to settle in. I expect for the type of player that Leonard is, I expect the 9s to settle in when supply hits the market. The 9s are probably going to be around $50. So at $15, you're going to break even on the 9. I expect that the PSA 10s will probably settle in for what the PSA 9 sold for. You're probably looking at $115 to $150 card in a PSA 10. But they're readily available. Because they just came out, you're going to catch the nicest ones. You aren't going to get retreads and resales and all that kind of stuff. You're going to get nice, fresh, pulled cards, which increase your chances for a gem. Now, even though none have sold, there have been 8 that have gemmed, It is gemming at a 30% rate so far, 8 out of 27.
If he's on
So
a playoff team, you might even do better.
you might. Yep. So had to include a couple of hockey cards here just because the 2025 Young Guns are always fun to grade. All right. I included this one because, A, I'm a homer. I'm a Brewer fan. I've had this card. I've transacted this card. I can't tell you how many times I've bought and sold this card. I'm shocked that 3 years later we can still make money on it, to be perfectly honest with you. But this is such a sweet card. 2022 Bowman Draft Sapphire. It's a color match, guys. It's a blue sapphire for the Brewers. The Brewers' best player that they've had probably since Robin Yount. Jackson Chourio, card BDC 115. It's the Draft Sapphire. $7 most recent sale. You got to go? Okay. All right. $7 most recent sale. 9 sales in the last 30 days. 30-day average is $20. Cards coming down again because it's the off season. But the fact that you can buy a color match Jackson Chourio and make money on it, it's just fun. PSA 9 is $51. So you buy the card $10 to $15 range. You sell it for $50 in a 9 and you break even. The PSA 10 was $85. So you're going to about double your money. And that's if he doesn't do anything spectacular or awesome in the preseason, which he might. He's breaking Brewer records left and right. It's a cool card. Worst case scenario, you think you're going to get hung with a PSA 10, call me. Maybe I'll buy it from you because I think I've got 7 or 8 of these in my PC. I love that card. It's just a cool card. But it's a cheap, affordable, nice color match Jackson Chourio. Got a couple more plays here, and then we will call it a day. All right. I was waiting towards the end because I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to slaughter this poor guy's name. Artyom Levshunov. I don't know if Levshunov. I don't know. I'm sorry if you're watching, Artyom. I can't pronounce your last name. I'm not great with Czechoslovakian names. Anyways, again, 2025 Upper Deck Series 1 Young Guns base, card number 201. Again, an $8 recent sale, a 30-day average of 11.5, call it $12, 137 sales. So again, this card is transacting multiple times per day. Very easy card to come by, very easy card to grade. The PSA 9 sells for $55. So again, it's a break even on a 9. And the PSA 10 is $129. And there have actually been several sales of the 10 already. So the first sale was $200 and some, and it's settled. Looks like it's settled in pretty consistently around that $130 mark, which is what I predicted is going to happen for Leonard. 36% gem rate. Again, very inexpensive card to go out and buy. You're not spending a lot of money. Low floor, high ceiling. Last card we're going to talk about today. I had to save the great one for last. We're going to talk about Lionel Messi. Nice. Had to throw in a Messi card with World Cup coming this summer. This is a highly transacted, very liquid, very, very fun card to buy, grade, and sell. I think last year I did this play. I don't know. I think I did 7 or 8 of these. It's got a good gem rate. So anyways, it's the 2022 Prism World Cup. So this is the last World Cup was 2022 because this year is 2026. So it's the most recent World Cup card-based Prism. This sale most recently was $3. That's a crying shame. The 30-day average is just shy of $7. I would shy away from the $3 and $4 cards. Chances are there's something wrong with them. Maybe you get lucky. Target the $7 to $10 cards. Those are typically a little higher quality. Target somebody that doesn't grade cards. That's what you're going to want to buy if you're buying on eBay. PSA 9 of this card is $39. So if you spend $10 and get it graded, you're going to break even with your fees. On a PSA 10, though, however, it's $110. So you're going to triple your money and maybe more, because if Messi gets hot, goes deep into the World Cup, does something spectacular that, very Messi like, you can see Messi cards go up drastically between now and the World Cup, or even during the World Cup. So I had to throw in a Messi card just because the timing there again is perfect. The World Cup is going to be in July. Right now, PSA is telling you the bulk orders are going to be end of May, early June. So perfect time to go get yourself an easy to find, easy to grade Messi that you can get a PSA 10 on and profit.
Yeah. He also has big
11
game
plays that this week we picked out that are not the normal plays that you would expect. You're not going to find any other YouTube channels or podcasts talking about any of these cards, because they are not what you typically see from a raw to grade standpoint. These are cards you can go out and get, and you're not going to have a lot of competition to go and buy them, because not a lot of people know that you can go grade a 2020 Tom Brady card and make profit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week. If you did, we can do more of this off the wall stuff. But those should be a lot of profits there for you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I'm going to hit up eBay here in a minute. Start looking at stuff.
You're welcome. So that concludes this. Now I get to go unload the truck of 20, 50-pound bags or 40, 50-pound bags of pigeon feed and go throw that out in the pigeon loft. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to continue to DM me throughout the week. I get a lot of you guys DM me on a regular, almost daily basis. I enjoy the camaraderie. Hope you guys are getting some value out of it. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Have a good one, everybody.
Everybody have a good one. We're going to hit the outro music. There we go. For those of you rockers out there, can hear the cardboard rockers on the outro.
Yeah.